Welcome once again to a talking time-lapse video for RGBros Comics. This is your creator and host, Josh Davenport. Creator of the comic, not your creator. Obviously. Unless some of you are my illegitimate children. And if so, I'm sorry I missed all those birthdays. Today's video, again, is brought to you by the fine folks supporting the comic over on Patreon. Patreon.com/Josh Davenport. Those folks currently are Brandon, Dan, Vivian, and Matt. Welcome to the fold. Thank you for your support. I hope you all are enjoying everything that your money has purchased. Today we're talking over the time lapse of RGBros Westwordsmith, which is a title based on Westworld. I hope you've been watching that and enjoying it as much as I have. I have some friends who haven't enjoyed it as much, but you know what? They're wrong. I'm just going to throw it out there that they're wrong. Really enjoyed it. It was nice to see a show that had some mysteries, but the show wasn't about the mysteries. You know, it could exist with or without them, pretty much, and I think the writers knew that because they weren't spending the entire season building up to something they were never going to reveal or anything like that. Maybe you like that kind of stuff. I'm not a huge fan of it. Probably why I never got into Lost. But to each their own, as it were. Here's the question nobody's asking, and I'm going to do it right now, as far as Westworld goes. So, these people making robots and cyborgs. That's how the kids are all saying cyborgs these days. If you're not down with it, then you're clearly not out on the streets hearing the lingo. The cyborgs. Right? So, they're making cyborgs of people, and they're making cyborgs of horses. So you know, with all the crazy stuff they get into at that park, you know there's some centaurs running around. I know it, you know it, Zorak know it. So where are they? And how many seasons is it going to be before we see a damn centaur? I'm saying season 3, Season of the Centaur. If you're looking for a subtitle, people at HBO, go ahead and take that one. Just give me credit in the credits. And then, bring me on as a consultant or something. I'm here. I'm waiting. Waiting for your call. And in the meantime, I'll be drawing some mad chickens. Like this fellow. Mad in the sense of these are some kick-ass chickens. Not that chicken is mad. I mean, I'm sure he'd much rather be ridden around by a little blue guy than, end up in a skillet. And, obviously had Westworld on the mind when I was doing this comic. It's mostly about that. But I guess I had a little bit of Final Fantasy on the mind, too. Thinking about, riding large birds. Well, large in comparison to our small friend Baxter and his incredible puffy coat. Look at that thing. The sheer majesty of a puffy vest. I myself have never really worn a puffy vest or coat, most of the time because they're full of down and I'm allergic to that stuff. It must be nice to be a person without allergies. I have to wonder what that would be like to not have any allergy or sinus issues. It's one of those weird things, I'll never know, man. I will never know the joys of dressing up in a completely movie-accurate Marty McFly costume. It's just not in the cards for me. And these are the burdens that I have to bear. I'm sure we all have our crosses. That's one of mine. I feel closer to you now that I've shared that with you. I don't know if any of you noticed. Hopefully you have over the life of drawing the comic. I'm sure I might have done it differently a couple times in the early days. But for the most part, when I'm drawing Gil's teeth, I like to do the 3 little lumps. Loop, loop, loop. Because, he's a dog. He's not going to have perfect tooth mouth. I don't know if you've ever looked into the gaping maw of a canine, but it's worse than a British dentist office in there. My apologies to anyone from Britainland. Those are the people I'm speaking of. Not England. Britainland. or as my 7th grade substitute history teacher once said, or I guess it was Tennessee history at the time I was in, the British. Literally called him the British. Fine lady. Super old. Not so great at the pronunciations. There we go. Put the little care lines under the eyes. I like to do that every once in a while. Sometimes it's appropriate. Sometimes it's not. But I like to work those in when I can. And, somebody was asking me what the significance of that chicken was the other day. And sometimes you just want to draw people riding chickens. That's all it was. And I felt it semi-appropriate because I was talking about Westworld. There's a lot of horse riding, such and so forth. It wasn't truly an homage to Final Fantasy 15, although I do kind of wish I was playing that game right now. Not like right now I'm speaking to you, but just in general. It's weird, though, because I haven't really played all the way through a Final Fantasy game since, Final Fantasy 3 or 6, as it's properly known. 3 in the States, 6 across the pond. And I tried the demo for 15, and I just felt the demo was pretty slow. It looked really nice. I mean, you could never fault Square or Squeenix now or whatever they're calling themselves on their graphics. Those things are always killer. But I don't know. I felt the combat was kind of plotty, and maybe it's different. Whoa, yeah, that's real. I'm gonna leave that in there for flavor. It tastes good. Tastes good on this end. But yeah, I played the demo, and it's different. It's definitely different because everybody's talking about the group combat or whatever in the demo. At least from when I played, unless they changed the demo since I played it, which is entirely possible these days. It was just single combat. 1 man, 6 monsters enter. Hopefully 1 man leave. That kind of business. And it was, semi-enjoyable, but it was it was around the same time I was playing, Dark Souls 3, and when you go from that style of combat into the combat system of Final Fantasy 15, it's just, well, at least the demo. Again, I haven't played the full game. It's not the same. It's just not the same, my friends. How many days do you draw a chicken harness? I'm still wondering if that one leg down there is looking a little goofy. Chicken rocking the goofy foot. Like a skateboarder. All the time with their goofy feet. If Tony Hawk's Pro Skater taught me anything, it's that you're goofy footing all the time when you're skating. You should be proud of that. Don't feel shame. Because I don't. Ever. Have fun drawing the little feather bits and filling in the chicken tongue there in a minute. Just felt like Muppet mouth drawing in there. Yeah, that little thing. Doop. Just a nice little touch. Because, chickens deserve a loving touch, too. That sounded really wrong. Yeah, I'm probably never going to say that again. So revel in it. It's going to be out there on the internet. I said chickens deserve a loving touch. Damn it, I said it again. Okay, forget it. Last time I'll say it. Twice. You caught me at it twice. Just don't let people near your chicken farm. If they're named me, I guess. Something I never knew about myself until tonight. But apparently I can't be trusted around chickens. There's just something about them. And that thing is that I want to eat them after they've been fried and hopefully dipped in some sort of buffalo sauce. I feel like that swallow I just made is going to be picked up really hard. Listen to the last one of these over again, which I hate doing because I'm not a big fan. Like most people, you don't want to listen to the sound of your own voice that much. And I thought I heard a lot of weird swallows in there. And that might be something from the EQ and stuff I was doing afterwards. So, if you have a problem with it, drop a comment and say, stop it with the damn swallowing already. It's not like I'm drinking anything, because I'm not. I swear to you, if you were here right now, you'd be like, man, that guy is the king of not drinking stuff. He's so not drinking things. Is that what that's called? The coxcomb? Is that what they call it that? On a chicken? So many questions. Do you think they make chicken robots in Westworld? Is that a possibility? There's got to be other animals in there, right? I mean, snakes. Yeah, I think they showed snakes in the first season. Not a big spoiler. I'm not going to try and throw any spoiler stuff in here, in case you haven't watched it, you plan on watching it later. But I'm pretty sure, I seem to remember there being in an episode like a snake, and it being revealed that it was like, a robo-snake. Not that something crazy happened with it, was just like slithering along or something. There's not a huge snake mystery going on in there. But it does make me wonder, how many other animals are they making for the damn park at Westworld? We know they're making horses. In the intro, you see them making a horse. There's horses everywhere. But you gotta imagine. Okay, so we're gonna say horses, snakes. So if you got horses and people, there's centaurs. You got snakes and people, could be a Medusa. That's all I'm saying. We're blowing the lid off this thing one step at a time. You're coming on this journey of discovery with me. I'm thinking there's a whole bunch of mythical beasts hanging out in there. Chickens and snakes. You almost have the recipe for like a cockatrice. How do you say that thing? Thing that's like a rooster and a dragon and turns people to stone. So Medusas, cockatrices, Cocotrice. Your cousin Cocotrice. I think that's how that's pronounced. I'm just learning all kinds of new stuff. Making up new words tonight. As is my want. I'm feeling the creative juices that go into something like a made-up world like Westworld. I'm just trying to get in that mindset to be more creative. Here's the thing. When you draw a chicken and you draw it saying something, do you say bagok? That's what I imagine. That's why I put it down there. Bagok! Like that. Some people just put like bok bok. And how would you spell that? Is it like B-O-K? Is it B-O-C? I imagine it's B-O-K. Maybe chickens have a greater message for us. Bok. B-O-K. Chicken's trying to tell us to be okay. I'm just extrapolating here. I'm just playing with what the chickens are giving us. Except for when they're giving us tasty meats and soups that help us when we're sick. I'm not playing with that, I'm just eating it. My mother taught me well. Here we go. Again, writing these things ahead of time, or I've been mostly doing it, makes this part so much easier. Which again is what, a 2-year-old who's making comics on it would probably tell you. It's like, what's the first thing you do? You probably write your script down. Thank you, tiny child. You've illuminated my life. If only I'd listened to you sooner than almost a full 3 years into this comic making journey. Yeah, it looks like we're getting done with the nitty gritty of the box work, about to go into making tales. Got another tale to spin. Hey, Baloo. You guys know what I'm talking about. You've all seen it. You all wanted that weird fan-style metal skyboard that Kit had. We all wanted it. I know I did. Where was Santa Claus on that one, huh? All right. Bringing this to a close, I hope this was an illuminating discussion for all of you as it was for me. Like and subscribe. Drop some comments down there. Tell me what you thought of Westworld. Try not to be too spoilery for other people, but I'm enjoying, hopefully I'll enjoy hearing from you. All right. I'll catch you on the next one. Later!